All right, man. We back. Motor City Sports Talk in the building. Cheesehead Talk. What's going on? Appreciate it. Yeah, let's get into this live stream. Appreciate everybody for checking in. We are on episode 11 for the Lions 101 playlist. So we moving around nicely. I'm planning on doing a Detroit Piston live stream. Maybe tomorrow. Could be Friday. I'm not sure, but probably tomorrow. It'll definitely be before or maybe after the Bone Thugs and 3 6 Mafia IG battle tomorrow. Hey, don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All them links in the description. 24/7 every video I drop. So if you need to reach out to me, if you have a business inquiry, sponsorship, video request, or whatever the situation may be, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram links are in the description. Quickest way to get in touch with me is Twitter. Um, Other than that, don't forget the podcast link in the description. I will be doing a draft wrap up podcast, so pay attention to that for that to come out. So subscribe to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Just click the link and it'll take you right there. And also, don't forget to check out the channel out for more sports, music, news, entertainment. Goodfellas Sports TV. Check that out. So we got the Lions who just had a draft, so I mean we done banged out the draft content. We done did the reaction to that and all that type of stuff. We done did multiple videos. We're gonna talk about Patricia being the key to the Lions turning it around this season and at least getting to an even record and showing some massive improvement. Talk about what the Lions or should the Lions pick up Jarrad Davis 5th-year option, and give me a minute, and then we'll talk about available upgrades that's on the market. No, I don't think I got accepted to Apple Podcast. I have to check. Not yet. That should be coming. I think that's the hardest one to get on, so it should be coming. But yeah, let's talk about those things. I think Patricia is the biggest key to the Lions' success. I think it's close between him and Stafford health. All right. If the Lions had drafted a respectable quarterback to back up Stafford, man, even Jalen Hurts, I wasn't a fan of his. Even Eason or somebody that was promising. Chase Daniels is going to be the same thing as Driscoll. Even if they stuck with Driscoll kind of being a Sean Hill or they Drew Stanton type of guy, I would have understood it. But Chase Daniels, he don't really bring the dynamic of running or nothing. I mean, that's a good thing about the wave of the new quarterback with the Jalen Hurts, the Russell Wilsons, and stuff of that nature. They able to extend the play, and that's the one thing Driscoll did. He was able to extend the play and run around a little bit. So, I think the Lions made a mistake not, picking up a quarterback in this draft, even if it's somebody like Jacob Eason. I think it was a mistake, or Jalen Hurts, but that's what they choose to do. So Stafford health probably remains the most important thing for the Lions. But right after that, it has to be Matt Patricia's creativity on defense. You know what I'm saying? Some people think the defense got some major upgrades. It's hard for me to say they got major upgrades when with their first pick, it's a rookie. So that's automatically a downgrade from Darius Slay. And it could be an upgrade down the road. I think it will be. Also, Desmond Trufant, Rashad Melvin, I believe that's a downgrade. All right, I think Rashad Melvin, they should have just kept Rashad Melvin over Desmond Trufant. You don't know if it's going to be an upgrade with Will Harris or Herman at the safety position. Tracy Walker, I think, will get better. Middle linebacker position, that's basically depends on Tavai and Jarrad Davis taking a step forward. I think they got better on the edges with Okora, and I think they got better with Jamie Collins. Obviously, they stay the same with the outside linebacker Christian Woods. Danny Shelton, I think that's a downgrade from Damon Harrison even last year. Trey Flowers will be an upgrade. He will be healthier this year. Deshaun Hand is automatically an upgrade over whoever they had that was playing this position last year. So they upgraded at certain positions, and then they stayed the same as some, and they downgraded. But the most important part is going to be Patricia able to draw up a scheme that's not going to be as vanilla and bland and such beta male. For a guy that love power, for a guy that's aggressive in the locker room with telling people to stop sucking other people's penises, and for him showing all this passion and yelling at the players and ruling the team with an iron fist, he sure got a beta male mentality when it comes to defense. You would think the way that he comes off, arrogant, smartest guy in the room, very fiery, feisty. That doesn't show in his defenses. His defenses are very vanilla. They very, they very beta male like. There's no aggression. His defenses lack aggression. It lacks spice. It lacks seasoning. You know what I'm saying? It's like what they say about white people food. Ain't no seasoning on it. His defense don't have no seasoning. Ain't no lemon pepper. Ain't no Lowry seasoning salt on there. Ain't no pepper. Ain't no salt. Ain't no paprika. It's just straight regular chicken. You know, with some flour. It just has no taste to it. And he has to be able to go out there and draw up schemes and draw up pressures. Or even if you only want to send 4 guys. Kind of, when you get into those certain 3-4 fronts, or 4-3 fronts, basically 3-4, hey, confuse the offensive line about who's coming and who's not coming. You know what I'm saying? It's no confusion. You know who coming. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a lot of stun. It ain't a lot of, the defensive end wrapping around, the lineman crashing down the end, looping around. They're not using Davis in situational football. That's why I really didn't like them to draft Isaiah Simmons. Because you have an athlete in Jarrad Davis where you can use him in different situations. You can just teach him how to, some pass rush moves and use his speed to show him one pass rush move. May it be a rip, may it be a swim, may it be a bull rush, may it be a spin, and teach him a counter move to that pass rush move and have him chase the quarterback. You can blitz him up the gap. You can stun him. You can wrap him around. Matt Patricia lacks creativity. It's like the person who's scared to break their routine. They do the same thing every day. You go to work, you come home, you watch TV, and you sleep for 9-10 hours, but you're still tired at the end of the day. Instead of trying something different, getting off work, going to the gym instead, eating better, less TV, doing more constructive, and learning that, you boost your metabolism, you have more energy. And people don't realize that when you work out, you have more energy. It doesn't tire you down. You tired during the workout, but after the workout, you get, water, put a little food in you. It gives your metabolism a boost, and it gives your body an overall energy boost, And people don't know that, but that's like Matt Patricia. He's scared to change it up. He's scared to take chances. He's scared to take risks on defense. You know what I'm saying? And he come off as a very, very fiery guy. But he just don't have no flavor. He just don't have no aggression on defense. It is sad. And for this team to prosper, other than Matthew Stafford being healthy, they gotta find a way. They gotta find a way to bring some different type of heat. They gotta have different packages. You know what I'm saying? They gotta disguise better. They gotta disguise coverage better. Everybody know it's 3 or 4 men rushing. It's man, and then it might be a robber. It might be 2 deep. It might be 1 high. It may be a safety, doubling and bracketing a tight end, and the linebacker dropping in coverage in the middle of the field. It's no flavor to his defense, so he has to put some seasoning, some flavor to his defense. He has to show something different, but he didn't show that in New England. In New England, it was the same thing. It was bland defenses. He was scared to blitz. He was scared to send 4 or 5. He'd rather play coverage than be aggressive. In today's NFL, you can't do that no more, because you can play coverage, right? And one second, you can play coverage now, but now the difference is now you got Russell Wilson who break the pocket, right? All of a sudden it break down. Now you got backyard football. Now you in coverage, you got to account for the 11th man, which is the quarterback, and then you got to account for him breaking the defense down and then throwing over the top or making great plays. Even if your linemen, your 3 or 4 linemen that you send in, or your defenders that you send in, even if they play the gaps the right way, now you got Dak, now you got Patrick, now you got all these dudes that's just gonna make plays down the field and nickel and dime and continue to pick up first downs. They have to be aggressive, and that's one thing I kind of liked about Jim Shorts. He ain't scared to be aggressive. He ain't scared to send the cavalry to go out there and get the quarterback. In today's NFL, you got to do that. You can't sit back there and just play coverage. And Bill Belichick finding that out as well too. That's why he was like 0-4 versus the mobile quarterbacks he faced last season. You got to go out there and you got to blitz, or you got to disguise and to create pressure, and just asking Trey Flowers to go out there and Deshaun Hand to go out there and Shelton to go out there and Okora or Collins to go out there and just blitz with 3 or 4 down linemen. That's not gonna work. Now you got Kyler Murray who breaking the pocket, and now he going downfield. You can't ask a corner, you can't ask a linebacker, you can't ask a safety to cover, cover all that ground, especially on turf on a sunny day. That's too much to ask. He has to change his approach up. He has to show some versatility. He got to come with some packages that, he ain't never came before. It's going to be all up to his aggression and all up to his creativity to do that. And you would think an aggressive-minded guy like Matt Patricia would be aggressive on defense, but he's safety first. He's safety first. He's a very, very safety first play caller, man. And being safety first, you may not lose it on one play, but guess what? 20 plays in the game and add up to the same thing. And that's the problem. But let's get to the comments. I think we should have get Nevin. Man, fuck up out of here. Nevin lost some garbage. If Soul Food was defense, it would blitz 98% of the time. Shout out to Richard. He says, Michael say, I was watching Lakers Pistons game 5 right now. Salute. He said, man, now Jarrad Davis, showed Jarrad Davis how to wrap up and tackle. Matt Patricia really not the defensive genius people say he was. He said the Bears are who we thought we were when we let them off the hook. They stay healthy. So, but the whole thing is he got to be able to mix it up, and he got to be able to show some creativity, man, because you face Brady, he gonna be able to nickel and dime you all the way down the field. You face Roethlisberger in his prime, he gonna be able to nickel and dime you down the field. So they gotta be able to go out there and they gotta be able to use their athletes in the right way. Jarrad Davis, even if he don't know how to wrap up and tackle, if he can get his hands on the quarterback, then the cavalry come. 7 Mile Doughboy said Patricia is not that great, but he is a bend but don't break. Problem is personnel not having great pass rushing ability. I mean, how many teams could who could just rush 4 down linemen and play man-to-man coverage in the back end? Not a cover 3, not a cover 4, not a Tampa 2 cover 2, nothing. Nothing. Who can just play man with maybe a robber in the middle or maybe 2 man deep? Who can play man underneath that percentage of the time? It's man. The whole week, offensive coordinators designing man beaters. They know we ain't going to see no zone. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to mix it up. Not only just being aggressive, you got to be able to show zone. You got to be able to play man. They know even if they back off and they show cover 4. If you bet your pretty penny, it's going to be man. Even if they try to disguise zone last year, early in the year before they started playing zone when people got hurt. It's going to be man. 99.9% of the time, you ask somebody to play man coverage. That's just, and you rushing 3 and 4 every time. It's not going to work. Especially with mobile quarterbacks. Once he break the pocket, it's over with. But it's crazy. Cheesehead says, crazy, y'all didn't blitz or do anything creative until week 17. Us when we had a bye. I mean, that's the Lions. That's what the Lions have been known for. That's what the Lions is known for. When it's out of reach, when there's no pressure on the team, when we out the playoffs, the last game of the year, then they want to show some creativity. Then they want to blitz. Then they want to open up the playbook. Then they want to do the Philly special, which should be called the Detroit special. Then they want to break out all the tricks and the stuff. The Lions are a beta male franchise that's scared to take risks. They're scared to take risks in free agency. They're scared to take risks in the draft. They're scared to take risks on the field. You know what I'm saying? They are not risk takers. They safety first. Since the Ford's been here, since 1957, the Lions have been a safety first franchise. They don't want to take no chances on nobody. Not a Randy, not a Janoris Jenkins, not a Tyrann Mathieu. They don't want to take no chances. And, we scared to mess up our image as far... Man, your image already messed up. This franchise takes no chances. And now Matt Patricia here, they take no chances on the defensive side of the field. None. You got to take chances. Chances make champions. You can lose a game on one play, but you also can lose a game on 20 plays, and 10 plays, and 15 plays. And that whole bend and don't break defensive shit, that shit only work for part of the game. When real teams get in there, they're going to be able to adjust. When you get to week 5, 6, 7, 8, and they see what you playing, they're going to adjust. You have to have a balance of aggression, a balance of man coverage, man mixed with zone, and a balance of zone. You got to have a favorite zone. You got to have a favorite blitz pack. And Patricia just going to, beta mail his way and back his way into losing the job if he don't change. You got to be versatile in this league. Look at Sean Payton, man. Look at Sean Payton. You look at his whole, the whole situation where at one point they was trying to be the greatest show on turf and outscore everybody. Spread it out, throw the ball around. He said, you know what? Drew Brees getting older. That arm don't pop or it don't throw like it used to throw. You know what we gonna do? We gonna get Kamara. We gonna get Mark Ingram. We gonna run the ball. We gonna play action. We gonna throw it to Can't Guard Mike, and we gonna switch it up. Sean Payton ain't scared to switch it up. He went from spreading it out, and he said, "Okay, that shit don't work no more. All right, let's load up heavy. Let's get some linemen. Let's put Brees under center. Let's run the ball. Let's play off Kamara. Let's play off Ingram. Let's play off Latavius Murray. We gonna play action." And then we're going to go down the field. He ain't scared to switch it up. You got to be able to change with the times. And when you ain't able to change with the times, you ain't able to modify things and do things, it really ain't no excuse. This team does not have as much talent defensively as it does last year. But one of the positives is that it has guys who are familiar. All the guys that's on defense, there's no more Rotten Apples, there's no more Slade, no more Harrison, there's no more Quadre. You got all the dudes, all these guys are Quinn Trisha guys, Bob and Matt Patricia guys. They all are those guys. All right? Look at the defense. Shelton, Flowers, Okora, Collins, Davis, Tavai, Jones, Flowers, Herman, Will Harris, Jeff Okuda, Justin Coleman, Desmond Trufant, Amani Arakwe. All these are they guys now. If you looking from a schematic standpoint of view, have the Lions had way more talented defenses than this? Absolutely. From when they had Cliff Averill and Ndamukong Suh, Ziggy Ansah, DeAndre Levy at his best, which will probably easily be the best linebacker on the Lions. Justin Durant, he probably would at his best, he probably was better than any middle linebacker they had. Tulloch was better than most of the middle linebackers that they have. Glover Quinn is probably better than both of the safeties that they have. Quadre, Darius Slay, you can go on and on. We have had more talented defenses, but the difference is these are guys that either Bob Quinn drafted or Matt Patricia wanted. So the familiarity with what he wants is there. It's there. But the difference is going to have to be him changing it up and playing more zone, blitzing more, stunned more, being more creative with his packages. He going to have to come out here with some different packages. I remember saying that about Jim Bob Cooter. He spent all offseason supposed to be drawing up this new defense, and he couldn't draw up shit. So in the first 2 years of Matt Patricia being here, there's been no difference. So do I see him switching it up? No. He's an old motherfucker, excuse my French, that's stuck in his same ways. That's it. He's somebody that ain't gonna change. And we're gonna see what Bill Belichick gonna do, because Bill Belichick been getting ate alive by mobile quarterbacks. Mahomes, Jackson, Tannehill, Watson. We're going to see how good he is as a defensive mind. How aggressive can he be? Can he switch it up? And if he don't change with the times, he going to find himself out of New England as well. Because that old defense of big, strong linebackers and big, no-name defensive linemen that you draft, that shit ain't going to work. You're going to be able to dominate the AFC East. Buffalo and New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins and stuff of that. Yeah, the Patriots been a product of dominating a weak motherfucking division. Excuse me. And they able to preserve their health, preserve their bodies, and they able to easily win their division. They able to easily rack up 6 wins in their division, right? Then they go to the playoffs. They get a bye because they got an easy 6 already. They get a bye. You got to go to New England and beat the referees and the zebras. You got to beat the whole atmosphere. You got to go into the elements there. So they didn't have one of the most easiest roads. This is one of the most overrated dynasties in sports history. You put them in the NFC North instead of the Lions. The Lions might have won the AFC East championship. Brady been getting a cakewalk for many, many years. And no offense, I like Tom Brady. I'm the most fanatic Michigan fan you can find. But also I'm objective and I can be fair and firm. So that shit that he ran in New England, you able to see Darnold and Josh Allen and whoever, Fitzpatrick 6 times a year. That shit is a cakewalk. It's a cakewalk. They ain't got to go to Lambeau. Buffalo didn't play them the closest. So that shit they doing in there, you put them in the AFC North, I guarantee the Patriots don't have all the championships they had. I guarantee they might not have half of them. They've been a product of having 6 weak-ass games a year. And that's a fact. So don't give me that shit where, they dominate in the defensive room and all that shit, man. Don't forget Matt Patricia, last defense that he had, they gave up like fucking 40, 50 to motherfucking Nick Foles. People forget that. That's the last defense he was part of. He gave up 40, 50 to Nick Foles, whatever it was in the Super Bowl. What adjustments did he make? None. No adjustments. I think that was the last time he was with New England, if my memory serves me correctly. So I'm telling you, man, it's gonna really show what type of defensive mind Matt Patricia is this year when his ass on the line. It's supposed to be on the line. I don't believe it to be on the line. And what type of defensive mind Bill Belichick is, because the times are changing. That old slow ass front seven that they run, the times are changing. Just like Bill Walsh had to get the fuck out the way with the West Coast system and Mariucci and them had to tweak it. Just like Tom Landry and Tom ran by him and Jerry Jones had to get him the boot like Manolo. Times are changing. Let's see if Bill Belichick can change with the times. Let's see if Matt Patricia can change his beta male defense and be more multi-dimensional as far as fronts, blitzes, stunts, zone, man coverage, combining them. Let's see what he can do. And if he can do that and Matthew Stafford can stay healthy, this team can make the playoffs. Along with being able to run the ball. But if I was a betting man, guys like Matt Patricia stuck in their ways. The difference is Bill Belichick don't probably mind delegating. He older. He don't probably mind. You see Bill Belichick after the game running up the players asking them, how did you know Tom Brady was going to do this? Or how did you know? He always collecting data. He don't really think he the smartest man in the room. Bill Belichick is a real leader. So he always looking ways to tweak and do things different. So I think Bill Belichick could change, but Matt Patricia is an arrogant fucking prick. He's arrogant. He thinks he's the smartest man in the room. He's arrogant. So will this humble itself? And nobody truly knows if his job on the line. Before we move on to Jarrad Davis, who knows if his job on the line? Everybody thinks. Matt Millen's job, and people forget, I don't know if people old enough, Matt Millen's job should have been on the line a lot of times. Bill Parcells actually offered to take over the Lions organization, and Matt Millen reportedly, I think, talked Mr. Ford out of letting Bill Parcells take over. And he admitted, basically, before he got his heart transplants with Sports Illustrated last year, I did a video on it, he admitted he didn't know what he was doing. So instead of doing what's best for the franchise, say, Mr. Ford, I'll take a pay cut, or I'm going to go ahead and leave. I don't know what I'm doing. Let Bill Parcells take over. Matt Millen said, I can do this. And he knew he couldn't do it. Just let you know how fucking stupid the brain trust in the Lions actually is. And to think about them letting Matt Patricia go, let me ask you this: who they gonna get to replace Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn? Who? Martha don't have like Tony Dungy like as a Ed Stefanowski like Tom Gores do, as a basketball or football guy that can help you make the right decisions. She asked Tony Dungy about Jim Caldwell. He said hire him. It was a good hire. You don't have to have a Tony or Bill Parcells do the day-to-day operations. They just oversee what's going on. So if Martha don't get a senior football advisor next to her and get Rod Wood out of there, somebody who knows football, and hire them to make the decisions, the football decisions, it's no point in getting rid of Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. They might as well play out their 1 or 2 more years of the contract left. That's just my humble opinion. Seven Doughboy said Bob Quinn is to blame. Says I think Bill would change because he don't like losing. I agree. Cheese Talk. I think the division is anyone's this year if Stafford stays healthy. Andre John, bro, we get it. You don't like her. Shut up. Get out of here. Get out of here. I ain't got time for that shit. Jay Jefferson, salute. I remember that Bill offered to come here after he stepped down from Miami. Yeah. Anybody with a brain don't like Matt Patricia. People be killing me. Detroit fans, they will fucking co-sign anything. A crackhead be running the division. Oh, I definitely think crackhead 7 Mile Bill can get the job done. Like, it's blind optimism. And I don't really like Mike Valenti like that, bro. But a lot of times, as far as lying shit, he be speaking facts. All these people go down to Ford Field every year and fill it up to see the same shit happen every year. Why they can't do that for the Tigers when they not up? Why they don't do it for the Wings when they not up? Why they don't do it for the Pistons when they not up? I never understood the weird infatuation with Detroit. Well, Michigan. It ain't even fucking Detroiters, man. If you talk to your average Detroiter, they ain't spending no money at Ford Field. These Michigans that come from Dexter and fucking come from Traverse City and come from up north to come down here and spend it. It's crazy. This shit crazy. And Martha never sell the team because she getting $250 million every year before football snap through TV money. Not until they start blacking out these games, but she don't know what she doing. She want to bring a winner. She got good intentions. Her and Sheila, her daughter, they don't know what the fuck they doing. So Matt Patricia, is no point in firing Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn. Let them play out their contracts, and hopefully by the end, something significant happen where the Lions are for sale. And that's what I got to say about it. So I'm an advocate of keeping them as long as Martha Ford around and as long as she got the team, because all she going to do is bring in some old motherfuckers that don't know what they doing. And the NFL is going to hire these guys. That's who helped her NFL hiring search to get Bob Quinn. And what he did was he took a regression and got rid of motherfucking Jim Caldwell. And I was cool. I'm like, okay, you get rid of Jim Caldwell. Bring an offensive guy in. I was even more for Josh McDaniels. He brought Matt Patricia in, and this dude was a straight mark from the fucking beginning. He was a mark. From the rape case that they didn't talk about. I mean, the Lions don't do a background check on the head coach. And that's cool. It was thrown out. I don't have a problem with it. But for making these dudes practice outside and trying to bring this culture to Detroit that, quite frankly, it ain't work nowhere but outside, nowhere but in New England. It just don't make no sense. It don't. But hey, we gotta see. He be on his 3rd year this year. We could have some games with no fans in the stadium. That's cool. That's cool. But even if Stafford was healthy, a lot of people say if he healthy and was he healthy last year. I mean, we probably would have been picking what? 9, 7, 7, 9, 8 in the draft again. I believe they could have beat Dallas. They could have beat the Skins. They could have beat a few teams on there. But it would have been fool's gold. Because this team is not going to be competitive. And they lost to the Raiders. People forget that. They lost to the fucking Raiders. They struggled with the New York Giants to a certain extent. So it just don't seem like they on the right track. It don't really seem, when they win it or it look positive, it just seemed like you just waiting for it to fall apart. But we'll see what happens with. I think other than Stafford staying healthy, I think Matt Patricia's creativity on defense and ability to make adjustments is the biggest key. I think those are two biggest keys. And then after Patricia, you have to say overall team health because they were decimated by injuries. But last year, that was the best year to be decimated by injuries. Because if Stafford go down, you ain't winning no games, no way. So it was good that Deshaun Hand was out. It was good that a lot of these other guys were out. If you want to be injured when the most important player out. Perfect. Alexander Salute. I don't have an issue with it. When Stafford went down, we all knew the season was over with. How you feel? I ain't talking about basketball. I'll wait till tomorrow. He said, I think Patricia is one of the best coaches in the NFL. Yeah, I think that's some. I think that got some motherfucking funny play in that one. I think that was I'm trying to look for the word. I think it was funny. I can't think of it. Yeah, if Stafford stay healthy, they might do something. I mean, yeah, but also they have to be able to run the ball with Matthew Stafford. If they're able to run the ball, I think they'd be good. And you waiting for the maturation of T.J. Hockenson. It could be year 1 to year 2. It could be year 2 to year 3. Tight ends take time, bro. You know what I'm saying? Tight ends take time. So if Hockenson can help them control the middle of the field with Amendola can mimic what he did last year. Then on the outside, you can have some help. They should be good, but they have to run the ball. They got to run the ball. If they don't run the ball and Stafford drop back 30 times a game or 30 plus times a game, you might as well just say, hey, get ready to draft a quarterback next year. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Stafford has never been able to say, you know what? He ain't never been able to throw the ball 10 times and just run it the rest of the way. And you see, and I'm going to say this before I move on to Jarrad Davis. The Saints made that adjustment. They say, you know what? Drew Brees can't throw it 50 times no more. His arm, he getting older. You know what I'm saying? We going to run the ball more. And then on top of that, instead of having them drop back 5, 7, 5 in the hitch, you know what we going to do? We gonna give him a running back that can catch the ball 5 yards, -1 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and can take it 30, 40, 50 yards for a touchdown. That's what they done. Sean Payton adjusted his offense to a veteran quarterback, to an aging quarterback. The Lions have to do the same. They got to line up and have an outdoor mentality. That's what the Saints did. Even though it hasn't won them a Super Bowl, they've been fluky in the playoffs, but it's put years on Drew Brees' career. Same thing with New England did. Tom Brady don't have an ego. Tom Brady will hand that bitch off 50 times, throw it 5 times, long as they win. So when you're dealing with older quarterbacks, and the same thing for like Green Bay, and the same thing for any quarterback, any team that got an older quarterback, you have to cut down the pass attempts. You can't have them hanging around in the pocket trying to throw 50-yard bombs every time. You have to run the ball more, because running game and defense travel. You have to create a short passing game where you have explosive athletes that can turn nothing into something. That kind of hurt when we got rid of Golden Tate, because there was nobody in the league better than turning nothing into something than Golden Tate. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to have your chain movers. You got to have your Galladays, your Danny Amendolas, your Hawkinsons. So the Lions have the pass catchers. You know what I'm saying? Now they have to get the running game and the short passing game and the yak crew, yards at the catch, to really prolong Matthew Stafford's career. If they do that, Stafford can continue on for 5 more years. But if he's dropping back every time, man, 30, 40, 50 times a game on average in the first 5 to 7, 8 games of the season, y'all might as well kiss him goodbye. Honestly, y'all might as well kiss him goodbye. He has to be able to have assistance. He can't be in a gun every time. Sean Payton say, hey, Drew Brees, get under center. Josh McDaniels say, Tom Brady, get under center. Go ahead and hand that bitch off. And they kind of did it with Aaron Rodgers last year. Let Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones carry the day. Let them carry the day. Let them run the ball, and you cut your pass attempts down. And that's what you got to do with older quarterbacks. So just as it's important for Matt Patricia to switch up and be more creative and more aggressive on defense, it's important for Darrell Bevell to kind of nurture and protect Stafford early on. Now, if you get down and he got to throw the ball in the second half of the game, cool. Every now and again is cool. But they have to have an outdoor mentality. They got to run that ball. If they run that ball and they able to use Swift and Jones underneath with Amendola and Hawkinson can control the middle of the field, the Lions, the sky could be the limit for Stafford. M.R. Horton, saluting the super chat. Appreciate it, family. It can get them, endless possibilities. Especially if Marvin Hall developed as a route runner. So those are the things offensively, which I didn't want to talk about tonight, but those are the things offensively they have to do. Not only because it's going to win championships and win games and playoff games and championships, and that's the formula, but if you want Stafford to stick around for 3, 4, 5 more years, this is a critical year where they have to open up holes in the run game. They have to be committed to the run, and they have to tweak their offense where him getting the ball out quicker underneath. But that being said, let's talk about Jarrad Davis. I would pick up the 5th-year option. I would pick it up, but I'm not sure. He's not a Patricia guy. He's not a Patricia guy as far as height and weight. He close to that 250-pound mark. Obviously, we haven't utilized him in the right way. Obviously, he hasn't really wrapped up better in tackling. He hasn't improved in coverage like he should improve. But with that type of speed and athleticism, you can blitz him off the edge. You can use him on the wide stunts. You can blitz him up the A-gap. You can do a lot of things with him that you can do with Isaiah Simmons as far as, using his speed. If they can teach him how to, control the middle of the field and coverage and flip his hips and, drop better, I think his athleticism is just not being utilized the right way. And you can go back to Jim Caldwell and it wasn't used the right way. Is he better than Tulloch or Justin Durant or obviously Chris Spielman? Hell no. But his athleticism, you can use that in some ways that you could have used Isaiah Simmons. Blitzing off the nickel. You just got to understand, you got to coach him and understand what he's lacking to pick up as far as coverage. Because if you can get him to cover, the sky's the limit. I don't understand what the issue is. I'm not kind of honing in on him. I'm not his coach, or you just see the athleticism, the speed to get sideline to sideline, and just the athleticism is jumping off the charts, and you hate to let an athlete like that go, and he goes somewhere else and they're able to utilize him in situational football, and he's a situational football guy. You can blitz him off the edge. You can teach him some pass rushing moves, a counter move. All you gotta do is give him one move, a bull, a spin, and then the counter move off the bull or the spin. He could be effective. He may not be a 3-down linebacker no more, but hey, Jarrad Davis in the right defense, he can get 10 sacks a year. Just off Patricia being creative. But if he doesn't fit what Patricia do, that's $10 million you shouldn't throw away. They picked up the 5th-year option on Taylor Decker. And you think the Lions sat there and got a replacement this year to prep up for him? Absolutely not. Great franchises get replacements for guys they've got to get ready to move on from. Before Glasgow moved on, they should have had a guy prepping behind Glasgow. Now, the kid from Wisconsin could be that guy. Maybe he ready, maybe not. Jalen Tabor was supposed to be the replacement for Darius Slay. That wasn't a good pick. We fuck up. Players fuck up too. They should have been able to find a tackle. It was a tackle that went to Arizona. I think he was out of Houston. They should have drafted that guy to prepare to take over for Decker's spot. He went in the 5th or 4th round. And you would have got him and Jonah Jackson. You would have been on the track to something like that. So they're going to wait till it's too late. And with them if they drafted Tua, let me say this before I get back. If they drafted Tua, Matthew Stafford would have threw for 6,000 yards, 80 touchdowns, no interceptions, and they would have won playoff games. Now they didn't draft a guy like Tua. They didn't draft a Herbert. They didn't draft a Love. Watch what I tell you what happened. They're going to be in a position next year where whoever taking over the team, they're going to need a left tackle. They're going to need a quarterback. That's a bad fucking combination. You want to already have one or the other. Now, had they drafted a left tackle replacement and played them on the right side, I love the kid from Louisville. Had they drafted that guy, Taylor Decker would have had an all-pro year. That's just the way it goes. But great teams draft a place. And one thing they did draft Tavai. And now we got to see if Tavai can be the replacement for Jarrad Davis. I believe in the kid. Love the kid game. Now, they did take Collins and sign him to, a 2 or 3 year deal. They did take Julian Okora. He set to replace him. Cheaper option. So they do kind of got some guys in place to take over at critical positions. But just knowing the history of this team, it's not a good place to need a left tackle and a quarterback going into the season after next. So with Davis, it's hard because you have to make that decision before training camp. Very, very hard. Because you see the athleticism. And if you don't pick up the 5th year option, he gonna fucking ball out this season. Watch what I tell you. If you pick it up, he gonna play like Taylor Decker did last year. So what's $10 million to the Lions? You gotta ask Martha. You pick it up, he don't play well, Tavai play well, you mad you picked it up. But it's at the point if you do pick up that option, you gotta be more creative with him. Use that speed. Even if he just a situational pass rusher. You see situations. I had a guy in high school I played with. All he did was know how to get the quarterback. That's it. So on downs when people had to pass or we needed to play in the backfield, they would put this kid in, and all he knew was to do was run and get the quarterback. He didn't know how to do shit else. Stop the run, catch a football, cover nobody. All he knew how to do was get the quarterback and run people down. So that is what it is. He says the NFC North sucks. It really don't because Minnesota's pretty good. Green Bay, I think depends on what they do on the interior linemen. If they linemen step up and they can stop the run better and they middle linebackers can stop the run, I think that 250-pound back is going to help them out a lot. Chicago, if Nick Foles can play and stay healthy, which he can't do that outside of Philly, it can be great. It could suck, but it's a tough division. It really is. It's a very, very tough division to win. He said Stafford, my boy, but he only play great if his money on the line or his job on the line. A lot of that got to do with the Lions ain't really, supported him the way that he should, Aaron. Give him a run game. He had his best season yet. He said Ronald say trade Davis to Pittsburgh in a package deal so we can get Juju. I get there. He say he talking to somebody. Taylor Decker was the top left tackle last year in pass protection. You don't believe me? I don't go by Pro Football Focus. I go by what I see, and he ain't no good tackle to me. I go by what I see. He ain't no good tackle. I don't care what nobody say. He said Martha going to make them keep Jarrad Davis because he's a high character guy. And he is a high character. I'm glad you brought that up. He's a high character guy. He's a good guy, but high character guys don't win football games all the time. You got to have your thugs. You got to have your crazy. You got to have your Romanowski. You got to have your Vontaze Burficts. You got to have those dudes. He said Decker is good in pass protect, but he just can't block. Run block. Man, like I said before, man, that dude ain't no good. Ever since that shoulder injury, he just ain't no good. He just ain't no good. That's why you can't move him to the right side because he can't run block. I don't go by Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus is good for like FanDuel and DraftKings and shit of that nature. They rated Desmond Trufant higher than Darius Slay. I was done after that. He wasn't. Your left tackle got to be able to do it all. But pass protection is important on the left side. But he got to be able to. He the reason they can't run the ball. Him and the interior lineman. Graham Glasgow was the top guy run blocking last year at one point. So was Ragnar. It was all about Rick Ragnar and Taylor Decker not handling their business. But with Davis, I would and I wouldn't bring him back. It depends. I probably wouldn't bring him back because he don't feel what Patricia do. He said, I hate. He said, I hate, and I can't stand. I don't have an issue with Green Bay like that. I hate Chicago. I don't have an issue with Minnesota. When we playing them, obviously I'm around with the line. But I don't really hate Green Bay like that, bro. I hated them after they cheated us last year. I really don't have no love for them like that, but I don't have no love. I just don't really. They ain't really the teams I hate. My teams I hate is Dallas and Chicago. I can't stand those two teams. The Chicago Bears and Dallas, I just can't stand them. Other than that, I really don't hate too many teams. In the NBA, I probably just hate the Celtics. So, I really just can't stand those. Those are two teams I just can't stand. I can't stand Dallas and I can't stand Chicago. Anytime the Lions lose to those two teams, my Sunday or my Monday was totally fucked up. But Green Bay last year, I probably got some disdain for them after that shit. But they've been cheating for years, man. They've been cheating for years. It don't shock me. Green Bay been fucking cheating for years. They've been cheating for years, man. It just don't fucking shock me no more, man. I can't stand Dallas. You say, well, yeah, they had Trufant. Trufant only played 9 games last year. And people say, well, he got 2 pick sixes came in the same game. He said, what if Trufant, he ain't going to become, his best days behind him. He had Vic Beasley. They had McKinney from UCLA over there. It depends. Maybe he do. Maybe they blitz. He is a great press man corner in his heyday, but he got older. He had some injuries. He'll never be Marcus Trufant. Marcus Trufant was my boy. He said, I hate Green Bay and Chicago. Yeah, fuck Chicago. Fuck Green Bay, too, after last year. We should have drafted him. Stafford don't want no competition. Well, to kind of talk about Stafford for a minute, I don't think Martha is letting them find a quarterback. So that's just what it is. You know, that could be good. He go down next year. We get the number 1 pick. We get Trevor Lawrence. I'm happy. I'm going to get the questions. Give me a minute for questions. Let's talk about available upgrades, all right? Obviously, Yake and Ngagwe is still out there. We know Cuz still out there. What else we still got out there? I usually have it. I usually have it pulled up, available free agent list. So I'm gonna go through the free agent list and talk about some guys that could be available via trade. I mean, you got Cam Newton who's still out there, Jadeveon Clowney, Darqueze Dennard, Everson Griffin, Logan Ryan, Prince Amukamara, Kelvin Beachum, offensive tackle from the Jets, Eric Reed, Damon Harrison, Mike Daniels, both Lions, Joe Flacco, Eli Apple, Drake Kirkpatrick, Devontae Freeman, DeMar Dotson, offensive tackle from Tampa Bay, he 34. Jason Peters, offensive tackle from Philly, 38. Injury problems. Delaney Walker, Tramon Williams, Cameron Wake, I didn't know he still was in the league. Tony Jefferson, Tavon Wilson, former Lion. Clayton Gathers, Cordy Glenn, who I think the Lions should look at. Marcel Darius, I think the Lions should look at. Also got Tayshaun Gibson, who was a Pro Bowl corner. Safety with the Cleveland. He went to Jacksonville. I don't know what happened. Tremaine Brock, Jabal Shear, former Patriot. Ezekiel Elliott is still. Ezekiel Ansah still out there. Javion Elliott is still there. Taylor Gabriel, Carlos Hyde, Marcus Golden from the New York Giants. Somebody mentioned him earlier. Tremaine Johnson from the Jets, big corner. Jordan Reed, tight end. I think he need to retire. Jonathan Joseph, old as shit. Vinny. You got a lot of guys. Clay Matthews, Morgan Burnett, Brandon Carr, Michael Bennett, Talib, Nigel Bradham, Rashad Higgins, Demarius Smith, Josh Klein, Mike Person, Lamar Miller coming off of, I think, a knee injury, Justin Britt, Christian Thompson, he's a running back from Washington. So you got a lot of available guys out there, man. And, you're probably looking at the offensive lineman, man, from Mike Persons, Josh Klein, maybe Jason Peters got some left. You're looking at that. And also you're looking at the Lions, who they attack, and then they gave all that money to, Desmond Trufant, when they could have got Drake Kirkpatrick, they could have got Eli Apple. Darqueze Dennard is a guy that's similar, that's probably cheaper than Desmond Trufant. He a press corner, so Logan Ryan's from New England. It's plenty corners out there. So if some of our corners go down, it's a ton of corners out there that's there to be had. And somebody asked about Snacks, probably in training camp. Snacks will probably be signed right before during training camp. But the options that the Lions probably looking at is, first, you're trying to upgrade the offensive line. And guys you looking at that's there. Kelvin Beachum is a good right side guy. He plays some left side as well. You're also looking at Jason Peters, who's been injury prone like a mug. DeMar Dotson, he's an older guy. But also you're looking at the interior. Cordy Glenn will be a good right tackle. But I think Baltimore just picked Cordy Glenn up. So he would have been a really good right tackle, kick Big V on the inside. So I have some questions about the offensive line, as far as just Big V is probably going to be the most important part of the offensive line. If he plays the right side and he able to upgrade the right side and he able to get some great play, I think Jonah Jackson's going to be a plug-and-play player right away. He'll have his ups and downs. But if you get some good interior play from your guards and Big V is able to secure the right tackle position and Decker is what he is, you should be able to move some mountains and get some yards inside, but you know that's gonna be important for them to pass protect Stafford, keep his back healthy, and be able to run the ball. So we'll see. We done went through a carousel of running backs from Bush, Joyke Bill, Kevin Jones to Javid Best, and we have just not been able to consistently run the ball through the tackles. And now there's kind of been a change in the guard from like Rob Sims to Larry Warford, some of the other guards. Now we got, different guards in there. We got a center that's not going to get blew back in the quarterback lap like Travis Swanson and Dominic Raiola. So hopefully we able to get the interior together and we able to run the ball, and Big V is able to seal the right side. And the right side is the run side. So they should upgrade at some point. As far as, probably left tackle and right tackle, but we'll see, man. But other guys that's out there, like I said, the cornerback field is plentiful right now, bro. That's going to be interesting because it's going to be some of these corners out here that's probably going to be sitting out here week 1. So if there is a year where a corner get injured, the Lions are very, very secure, as far as what they doing in free agency, because if Trufant go down, Darquez Denard from Michigan State is the exact same corner. Maybe not as accomplished, but maybe Cincinnati wasn't a good fit. Logan Ryan can play the nickel. If Coleman go down, you got Logan Ryan. It's just a lot of good corners. Drake Kirkpatrick been good for a long time out of Alabama. You got Eli Apple, who's solid, who's still he's 25 years old and ain't reached his potential. You got safety and Tony Jefferson, who played well in Baltimore in the past. So, the cornerback position, the DB safety position, it's loaded right now. Eric Reed still out there. So, if you do have some casualties, or some injuries in the back end, there's plenty of guys you can have. And even if you go into the bottom 50 of the list we go to, you got Deron Lee, linebacker from Kansas City, athletic guy. You got Morris Claiborne, old LSU DB. You got Ron Leary and Michael Schofield, two guards that's around 30, 31, 30 range. You got Jared Van Deer from the Packers, who can play some tackle, some left and some right tackle. You got Michael Kendricks, who 29 years old, athletic, middle linebacker, may go to jail for inside trading. You got Alex Ogletree out of Georgia, who an athletic, big linebacker. I mean, you got Marcus Hunt, who didn't really, I don't think he really worked in Cincinnati. Not sure how he did in Indianapolis, but he there. You got Wesley Woodyard still there. I didn't even know Antoine Bethea still was in the league. That's crazy. Charles Clay, tight end. You got Paul Richardson, who a good slot receiver. If, you lose Hall, or if you lose Danny Amendola. You got Jermaine Kearse, who was with us last year, got injured early on. He's still out there. I mean, you got a lot of different guys. Pernell McPhee still out there. He only 31 years old. Mark Barron still out there. He's a joker. Isaiah Crowell, shout out to the Alabama State Hornets. I went there. He's still there. I mean, you got a lot of guys there that's just still there, man. Tavon Wilson, kick returner. Domata Pico, whatever it was. He played for Cincinnati last year. Baltimore. Corey Legit still there. Dontrez Inman, big receiver, still there. So it's a lot of guys that's still there on the free agent market that can help the Lions, and they still got money to play with. Some of the guys that I do like Paul Richardson to come in and play the slot. He athletic, he can get down the field. Love Charles Clay, what he brings to the table, but they do already have Jesse James, so they got just a lot of different guys. Aloe Ogletree, he a big physical linebacker that can cover, that may fit in Matt Patricia's scheme. So there are upgrades where they need to be upgraded as far as offensive line, linebacker. You got Marcel Darius, who's a good defensive lineman at one point that just lost his way. I don't know if he got complacent, injuries, he got fat, or he had some issues with some marijuana and some police in Buffalo, I think it was. But that's a guy I look to take a flyer on and see if he ready to fly right straight. He only 30 years old, I believe. So you also got running back like Devontae Freeman out there. A guy who under 30, a guy that's shifty, a guy that signed a big contract, got injured, but he kind of remind you of what you already got with Swift and Kerryon Johnson. Not the fastest, most athletic guy, but experienced. Pretty good in pass protection. So you got a lot of just different guys that still can get the job done out there. So it's plenty of upgrades to be had. If some guys go down, there's still some plug and play players in there, man. So the Lions should kind of add some things. They're gonna have some veterans get cut too. you're going to have some really good veterans get cut. So something to look at. But also you got guys like Yake Ngagwe who's still available to be traded. A guy that can help you off the edge. If you're playing more 4-3, if you're going to play that 4-3, he can get it off the edge, and he can rush with speed. He can rush with power. You got guys like Leonard Fournette that's expected to be cut pretty soon. In a minute, I would cut both Scarborough or Tyler Johnson. I would roll with Fournette. I would roll with Kerryon, and I would roll with DeAndre Swift. You can't have too many running backs in this league, and you getting a hungry guy. People say, well, his character not that good. Like I said before, you're going to have to need some questionable character guys, especially somebody that's hungry. You ain't have to pay him $100 million. He fighting to get that contract. So, even if I didn't want him to hit the free agent market, I would try a 5th or a 6th next year for that guy, man. It's just because he still got the juice. Leonard Fournette still got it, bro. Last year, he played tremendous when Gardner Minshew was doing well. He was breaking off long runs and stuff of that nature. And he may just be the ticket, man. He might be the running back that can go with him, and Swift complement each other pretty well. And Fournette showed the ability to catch the ball out the backfield. So he can play first, second, third. Kerryon can play first, second, third. DeAndre Swift can play first, second, third. And also you got a guy out there named Jadeveon Clowney who price dropping by the minute. It's getting to the point where it's getting so bad for him that the Cowboys thinking about bringing him on, and they don't even have that much cap space because they still got to sign Dak. They just signed Zeke last year, and they signed Amari Cooper. So if the Cowboys can get a team-friendly contract, the Lions should. Now I know Jadeveon said he want to play for a championship-winning team, but I think the dough more important to him than a championship-winning team. But the thing about him is we got 2 dudes that can play the spot that he playing, and that's Okoro and that's Jamie Collins. So if they play a 4-3 predominantly, he can put his hand in the dirt and just get the quarterback like he did in Seattle. So, Ziggy Ansah's still out there, but he's just so broken up. He got to be like 40 years old. So, I don't think that's a good move. People talk about what about bringing Cam in to be a backup. I would like to bring Cam in to be a backup, but they don't want to put no pressure on Matt Stafford. If they jobs is on the line and Stafford get injured and Cam's still available, then they may have to bring him in. But I just see Cam being a perfect fit for Pittsburgh. You see what I'm saying? So, I think they could put a package in for Cam, but I think that's beneath Cam at this point in his career. I think Cam probably needs to sit out a year, heal his body, and then jump back in there if it's not a team like Pittsburgh. So, I got some good guys. And then you got, guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, who reportedly is done with Pittsburgh. If I'm reading that story, I compare Smith-Schuster with Kenny Galladay. The problem with that is you got to pay both of them pretty soon. So, I would take care of Galladay first and then see what Schuster do next year, and I would pay Schuster. So, I don't understand why Schuster is, being exiled possibly from Pittsburgh, or why that's the story. Maybe because he struggled without Antonio Brown last year, and maybe it was some things behind the scenes that we didn't obviously see. But also, they had quarterback issues, and Big Ben ain't really been that good, in quite some time. So they struggle with some quarterback issues. So, I'm not going to put it all on, Juju Smith-Schuster, but I think him and Kenny Galladay will be a perfect 1-2 punch. You can trade him and Marvin Jones in the 2nd-round pick for him next year, and I think that'll be formidable. Schuster can get down the field, he can play the slot. Then you got Hockenson that can control the middle of the field. So I would, this is the type of opportunities the Lions fail to jump on, like AJ Boye getting traded for a 3rd-round pick. You know what I'm saying? You had just a lot of different ways they can upgrade their team that they fail to upgrade. You wonder, like, Randy Moss goes to New England for fucking, for a sack of rice. You wonder, like, where did the Lions be at of those trades? It just seemed like they never really in those trades, man. So that's crazy. But I'm gonna get to the comment section real quick. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, that's why I started off. He said, "Is Swift or Johnson starting?" It really don't matter who started. I think it matter who finished the game. But they probably share carries. What you think about the Lions getting Marcus Golden? I don't know too much about him from the Giants, but I heard he said he got 10 sacks last year. They can use him. Clowney, I actually want Fields over Sunshine at corner. I'll give me Trevor Lawrence. That ain't even no competition. Chances Matt Tricia learns what a blitz is this year. Well, they blitzed in week 17, so maybe that might be a trend going into this year. Tia. Yeah, DeAndre B said Detroit has picks in 2021. Trading for a great defensive player would be great. They have to be available, and they have to be system friendly for Matt Patricia. So that's what you have to remember. It has to be system friendly. We can't give up no picks next year with the new GM. I don't want They not want to. They not gonna make it this year. Thing is, even if you give up a pick, will a second round pick be better? Will it be better than Juju Smith-Schuster? That's what you got to ask yourself. But it ain't gonna be no new GM next year. Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn will be here next year. The roster is 90 right now. They would have to cut some. Yeah, they cut some old bullshit ass players. That ain't no thing. Rod Love 313. They still money left. Trufant was the best option for what they want. I don't think he was, bro. I think he passed his prime. I think they could have got Darquez. They could have did. Drake or Patrick got cut afterwards. They could have did something else. Eli Apple had more promise. Desmond Trufant is garbage. When y'all see him play, bro, if he don't work here or if he don't get back healthy, they have cheaper options with better. They still had Trey Waynes out there for a minute. He could have came in and did what he did. Trufant was a bad pickup, bro. That's just my personal opinion on it. I think Amani Orakwe is going to be a starter. I would have brought back Rashad Melvin before him. But shout out to Rashad Melvin. He got the bag down there in Jacksonville. The Lions are still sitting on almost 30. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to spend it, Alexander. They don't have to. I mean, they give them flexibility to, down the road to do some things, to sign some players. I would like to see them take care of Kenny Galladay. That can boost the overall image of the Lions in the National Football League that took a huge hit. It's always been bad. The Fords have already been scolded by players. And now Matt Patricia just gave them another bad, image. But DeAndre B said Detroit. I seen it. Detroit still looking for a high talent on offensive line. Yeah, those guys ain't really available via trade. Larry Thompson was available last year, but he ain't that good though. Lions after signing the draft class should have 10 or 13 million. No, they got 30 left to play with. The draft class was already included, bro. So yeah, that's already embedded into your thing. They still got 30 to play with. Michael Ford, I believe, forward down the field, Lions team that will not yield when the blue and silver wave. Alexander said the Lions are still almost 30. Yeah, 30. Yeah, that's fact. Ronald Cheatman, what do you think about the tackle from Washington, Trev Adams? He didn't get drafted. Oh, he didn't, the big fella? He had some injuries, bro. So that's probably what I would like to bring him in. I don't know if he signed somebody. Yeah, the long hair guy. He had some injuries. He probably would have been like a day one pick or a day two pick. He had multiple injuries that stopped him from really bending. So he probably got to get healthy a little bit more. But yeah, I like him a lot. I didn't know he didn't get drafted. Nobody wants to come play here. Not going to be able to use the cap space. Austin, Tia Ostrander, sorry if I butchered your name, used the $30 million to buy Matt P's contract and get a new coach. Problem solved. Yeah, Jeremy Deere would be excellent. Michael said, can Danny Shelton play the 3 technique? No, he's not athletic enough to play the 3 technique. When you look at 3 techniques, you're looking at guys like probably like Warren Sapp is a perfect 3 technique. Twitchy guy that can get up the field. Danny Shelton is a plugger like Damon Harrison. Haloti Nada type guy. 3 techniques are like Gerald McCoy, Warren Sapp, and Dominican probably can play it a little bit, in his younger days. They twitchy guys that kind of get up the field and they able to, split double teams and get up the field. They athletic guys, most 3 techniques, man. Damon and Shelton are pluggers, man. I hopefully they don't play Danny Shelton at the 3 technique, but hey, Mike Daniels trash. He just got injured. That's all it was. B.J. Raji stepped away for a year and didn't even come back. Detroit need to look into AB. AB been got stretched in Detroit. Never mind, he talking all that bullshit. Somebody been to stretch him. Chances Patricia. No, okay, I read all that. Hold on, I'm trying to come down. No way Stafford last 16 games. I mean, if they run the ball, he will, and they cut his pass attempts down. But hey, y'all gotta lower y'all standards. Nobody that's good is coming to play here. You don't know that, bro. If the money right, anybody come here. We seen it before. We seen it plenty times before. But you're probably right. Will Shelton be good in Detroit? Can he be the player everyone thought he would be? No, so it's a wrap. He gonna be a guy that's he ain't gonna get all the accolades and the praise, but if he can be the run stopper we need him to be, that'd be great. He ain't gotta come here and be Reggie White. He a 2-down player, bro. I'm afraid of Stafford being the next Andrew Luck if he get hurt again. He been hurt way more times than Andrew Luck. He would have been quit. Remember, he came into the league 2 injuries back to back. The second injury was because Jeff Backus hoe ass. I'll never forget that. No, used $19 million on Clowney and $7 on Ngakoue and signed Juju. And that ain't gonna happen. That's too much. Everson Griffin probably want to go to a winner. Juju issue is he too social media and fame seeking. He don't take football. That could be an issue. Streetwise Television, do you know which free agent can play the 3 technique? It ain't too many left out there. It ain't too many left. Mike Daniels probably can. I don't even know if Mike Daniels can play it that good. Marcel Darius, when he was, he wasn't as injured, he could have played it at one point. Yeah, those guys don't walk on the street like that, bro. You ain't gonna find those guys that's walking up the street like that, bro. I mean, I don't see one that's on this 100 list that I know can play it, man. I mean, you have to trade for a guy. But those guys are twitchy, bro. They really, really twitchy usually. But it's difficult for a 350 plus 320 pound man to play that. Andrew Luck got paid to leave. We not playing Stafford and his money. If it is a player they paying, it's Stafford. Killebrew, yeah, I don't know. He's still kind of learning the linebacker position. The Juju gone from Pittsburgh like cut. They said they're gonna let him walk next year. They said there's no way he'd be back in 2021. They not franchise tagging him, so they might be prepared to trade him by in the middle of the year before they're E-Man East. Yeah, Trufant garbage. Trufant is slow as fuck. He really not there. Well, he wasn't slow coming into the league. He just had some injuries, bro. It happens. He just had some injuries, bro. It happens. Everybody not gonna have a 20-year, 10-year career. That's just not how the way to go. I'm not sure why you say that Trufant played well. No, he's garbage, bro. Trying to explain to people, bro. He's garbage. Go ask Atlanta Falcon fan about him. Han can play some 3 technique. Han is definitely a 3 technique type of guy in the interior. He could play the end. He could play the defensive tackle 3 technique for sure. That's great. And maybe they was trying to compensate for making up for Han. They tried to get Harrison to play the 3 technique, but Han was here when he first got here to play the 3 technique. So I don't know why. They try to make Harrison who a plugger, who can plug it and play 3. We gonna pay big. They gotta pay Galladay now, bro. The Lions don't do shit right, bro. That's why people don't take this franchise serious. They don't take care of their players. Sheldon's a nose tackle. Defensive tackle, nose tackle, 2 different things. Well, no, it's not. Defensive tackle is a defensive tackle. It could be a 3 technique. It could be a nose tackle. It's different type of defensive tackles, but same shit basically. The interior lineman. They're the same shit. Now you can say 3 technique, nose tackle. They got 2 gappers and they got different shit. But a defensive tackle is still considered a nose tackle. Still, anything interior is still considered a 3 nose, and it's different language for the tackles, but it's still called interior lineman. We gonna start Swift or Johnson. No, I don't know. Could be either one. It ain't about starting. They probably split the carries. Would you pay Galladay about $16 million per year? I don't know about $16 million. Depends on what he do this year. Have you watched film on D tackles they drafted from Utah? What you think? Yeah, man, he smaller guy as far as stature, but strong, explosive, twitchy, but he just said he dominated lower level competition. They said they think when he go to the next level and fuck with the big boys, he get dominated. But yeah, I like the way what's his name, Panini. Yeah, I like the explosiveness off the ball. He get good leverage. Kind of remind you in height of kind of like Warren Sapp. He'd be able to play some 3 technique. You know what I'm saying? He get good pad level. He get under defender's pay. I watched him. I forgot that he even drafted him for me. And Trufant is trash. That's all my Saints homies talk about. Think DeAndre Swift could be? Yeah, I mean, any running back got a chance to be Rookie of the Year. Jason Peters old as hell, bro, but I don't know. Logan Ryan, I mean, that depends if like Coleman or somebody go down. So, Trufant and Kyle Shanahan cost the Falcons the Super Bowl. Well, that was basically, Shanahan, being too aggressive. I mean, Shanahan this Super Bowl, he called the right play for them to win. He called the poster out to Emmanuel Sanders and Jimmy Garoppolo just missed him. Shit. I mean, Shanahan is a good coach. I don't mind Shanahan. He was a top corner when he got the bag, but the injuries, the injuries came in, bro. Trufant was pretty good. He'd never be Marcus though, bro. Nobody's saying Trufant is all pro, but he not garbage. He below average. He garbage, bro. He garbage. However you want to spin it, bro. He garbage. He didn't have his time. He guard, but he come here and play well. Maybe he just need to change the scenery, man. I don't know. He said we able to get any speed on receiver. No, we got slower with Cephas, but Cephas is quote unquote the best receiver in the Big Ten. Some people say, but we got slower, but they say he played faster than that. But we still got Marvin Hall. We got DeAndre Swift out the backfield, so that is what it is. But other than that, man, that's it, man. You got any more questions? I'll answer them for a minute. And I'm gonna go get to my food downstairs. But you know, I think the season hinges on Stafford health and Matt Patricia's ability to be more aggressive, be more creative on defense. Why was the grade way higher than Slay last year? I don't believe in Pro Football Focus. Desmond Trufant played 9 games last year. He got 2 pick sixes in the same game, and he gave up 15.5 yards a catch. I don't even listen to Pro Football Focus. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You watch him play last year, and you tell me. You watch him play, and you tell me. Let's be real. Trufant ain't lasting 16 games. Armani gonna take the number 2 spot and play well. I think he played well in 2019 when told to step up. Will Harris, I don't know about him. He was getting burnt. I agree. I think Armani gonna take over. Pro football for people who really don't understand football. That's the best way you can put it. Aaron Choice. 7-player wavy. How many games do you think they need to win? I think to keep their job. I think they need to win 8. You know, in my mind, in Mark the mind, I think they only need to win 6. But in my mind, they'll have to 500. Remember, they added a team to the playoffs that started this year. So it's 1 bye. Only the 1 seeds get a bye, which I think is stupid. But they added 1 game. They added 1 team to the playoffs. So the Lions can make the playoffs at 7-9, 8-8, anything. I think DeAndre still could be rookie of the year. Yeah, he can. He get the opportunities. Grades don't really matter when Patricia doesn't know how to use his players to their strengths. Yeah, but Trufant is a press man corner, though. That's what he do best. When he at his best, he able to challenge you at the line of scrimmage, and he able to, play man. I wonder if we could use that running back we got in the 5th round as a joker receiver, small Tyreek Hill. The kid from, he wasn't in the 5th. He was like the 6th or maybe the 5th. You're right. Yeah, I like him. He kind of remind you of Dexter McCluster a little bit. Shifty guy. It depends. If Jamal Agnew or Tyler Johnson don't step up and take the returner job, and that kid able to return the ball well and he able to run the ball well, he probably gonna be a problem. Will or Rico play on the field at the same time. Who? I don't know who you just said, Eric. Sorry for that. I don't even know what the fuck you saying. I don't know. Rara and Rico. What's it? Okora? I don't know who the other guy. I know you're trying to say Okora. I don't know who Rara is. You think you're talking about Romeo and I don't know what he's saying. I'm sorry. Try to find the names. But yeah, that dude from New Mexico or New Mexico State, he played well. Will Amari, Arakwa, and Okora play on the field at the same time? Why wouldn't they? Amani Arakwa is a corner, and Okora is a linebacker defensive end. You think Agnew about to get cut? He was talking about the brothers. Oh yeah, you talking about Romeo and Julian? Yeah, they can play at the same time. I don't know. Agnew flashed last year, but he ain't doing good at the nickel corner, so he could be out. Y'all sleeping on Pro Football. Pro Football Focus is for like fantasy football. Pro Football Focus is. I hate deep analytics. I hate plus minus. I hate PER at NBA, and I hate Pro Football fucking Focus. I hate those numbers. They mean absolutely nothing. Them for people. That's like for people that don't understand football, like he said. Real talk. Or he's 135 out of 135 linemen. I hate that shit, man. I hate that they done made sports nerdy and they done dumbed it down and shit. I hate PER and all that shit, man. Hate that shit, man. But yeah, let me get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. If anybody got any other questions, I'll take them right now. I'll give you a minute, man. But that shit crazy. But yeah, anybody got no questions? Appreciate the love, support. Share the videos. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can always reach out to me there if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video question, just want to chop it up. Don't forget to check the podcast, that link in the description. I'll be doing a draft wrap-up show very, very soon. Want to make a donation, cash out, PayPal description. Oh, somebody got a question. Hold on, I'm going to get there. He said, Swift about to eat teams alive, catching out the backfield in the screen game. I agree. Packers might go 6-10 this year. Anything can happen if somebody get injured. Who your pick for the next coach? They not going nowhere, bro. Patricia is going to be here until his contract run out, unless Martha pass away. How many wins do you see the Lions going to get? I'm not sure, bro. I can't really call it. I don't really predict Lions wins. It's hard to do a big prediction, when you're going week by week. If you playing, Houston, Texas, and Deshaun Watson get injured, then that should be a win. Going into that game. So I just do it week by week. Drop a video on LaMelo and Rock Nation too. I did that. I deleted it. I just didn't drop it. I did the video for that, but I'm gonna start doing the free agent spotlight for the Pistons. I'm gonna start doing the draft spotlight for the Pistons, and I'll probably come back tomorrow with a Piston stream. If not, it'll be Friday or Saturday. So next stream will be a Piston stream. So I know a lot of people excited about the new beginning for the Detroit Pistons, man. We ain't had a fresh start like this since we got Grant Hill. So the next contract is only 3 years. He said, "Are we keeping Carry? Yeah, they keeping Carry on, bro. Why would they get rid of him? Or do they smash and dash with him and Swift? They gonna keep both of them. You think about tight end from Washington? Was he a steal? I don't know much about him, bro, to be honest. But I seen we got him, so maybe he was a steal. We gotta see, man. Washington football ain't really been popping in a minute. So Josh Smith still no. Josh Smith fell off the payroll at the end of this season. So if the season never end, but yeah, Josh Smith officially off the payroll, so he gone. Yeah, early '90s. We ain't rebuilt since the early '90s, bro. You know what I'm saying? I do smart Piston talk real quick. People talking about taking Anthony Edwards. He a good player, strong guy, but the Pistons are at their best when they defend and they got a great leader at point guard. That's kind of been the formula for the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? Chauncey, Isaiah, when they had those guys, it's been a running formula. We had guys that could fill up the stat sheet like Grant, Allen Houston for a small part. And I think we even had Bonzi Will for a small period of time. We had guys like Jerry Stackhouse that could fill up the stat sheet. We had guys that can shoot it and score it, but it really ain't amount to wins. When we solidified the point guard position and we had guys like Dennis Rodman and Rick Mahorn to defend the paint and Ben Wallace to defend the paint and Rasheed Wallace, that's the formula for the Pistons to win. Great point guard play, strong rim defenders and paint defenders. So that's the formula. If they keep Christian Wood, they keep him. If they take James Wiseman, they take him. But I think it's point guard heavy, from Cole Anthony to LaMelo Ball to Killian. It's a lot of point guards. They got to find them a point guard. And the reason I like LaMelo the best is because he going to get us syndicated on national television. And he long. Him, Sayoko, long. Christian Woods, they decide to keep him long. That's long. That's how Milwaukee is so good. They so long and, they could defend. So if they able to, get, LaMelo or Killian and they able to get their floor general, then you can worry about next year, getting your score. Or, if you can get Brandon Ingram, that's a good fit. That's the only guy I probably spend money on this year. Get longer. And, you still got Blake there that should be ready to come back in June, they saying. And you got Derrick Rose, the mentor, young point guard. So, it's just a great fit for them to take a point guard right now. Whoever they see fit. So, if they take Wiseman, they can play Wiseman and Christian Wood together. So, should be interesting, man. But, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button so you can get that notification when I do the Pistons live stream. Don't forget to check out the podcast. Appreciate the love, support. Hold on. Somebody got another question. Hold on. I'm going to answer that one. He said, you think the Lions former safety Delmas was good? He was pretty good. The problem with Louis Delmas was he was a missile. Louis Delmas kind of remind you of Ernie Sims. We drafted Ernie Sims out of Florida State. He was known for knocking himself out. Louis Delmas was the same way. Louis Delmas was known for, using his body as a battering ram, and he didn't last. But Delmas was a good player. He was an enforcer. He can hit. He can cover a bit. He was athletic. He just was like Ernie Sims. They just threw their body away. You know what I'm saying? He just threw his body away. But hey, appreciate the love. Share the videos. We out.